Now, good morning, everybody. Yes, it is morning. It's about 9:30 in the morning. Look, everything's frosted up. I'm not going to be in the car today. I'm going for my final Broughty Ferry stroll around the area where I used to live and play and go to school. Now, there's loads of people at the bus stop over there. I was going to do a little speech about where I live, but there's loads of people there, as usual. Lots of them. So I'm going to go for a stroll along the way around what we used to call a rounding up, I think, when we used to take the dog for a walk. I'm just going rounding up with the dog. Yeah, right, here we go. Right, folks, my journey starts here on Fort Hill Road. Yes, indeed. Now, behind me is the old dairy. There used to be a dairy there. It's actually called, as you can still see, the old dairy. But Fort Hill is named after, well, there's a fort, obviously, on the hill. But I think it was around about 1557 where the English held Broughty Castle. They decided to strengthen it, so they had a garrison up here behind Dunalister Gardens, which I'm not too sure where that is, but it's on this hill somewhere around. There's a big hill just up there, so it could be over there. So that's why Fort Hill is called Fort Hill. Originally it was sort of like Balgillo Hill, but obviously they changed it now to Fort Hill. So this is the main road that runs from the bottom of Broughty Ferry all the way up to sort of well, Balgillo Road, really. Yes, there you go. Now we're just turning into Stewart Street, which could possibly be one of the smallest streets in Broughty Ferry. Now this is named after the Stewart family, who had market gardens and lots of nurseries in this area. I think this whole area, actually, you'll find just got lots of sort of, you know, nurseries and plantations and things, and in this whole area. This would have just been completely flat and green and full of bushes. That's the mansion that the Stewart family used to stay in, I believe. So, yes, the smallest or the shortest street in Broughty Ferry. So, this is Cedar Road. Now, in the 1860s, this would have just been a row of, well, have a guess, cedar trees. Yes, plantations all along here, either side of the road. Now it's just houses, and I think those two houses behind me there, they were owned by the people who owned the nurseries of cedars here. Now we're coming into a crossroads here. Now, Trail Street. This is quite an interesting one because they're not actually sure how to spell it. I believe they have two signs with a double L, and there's one with a single L just down there. So we're going to have a look at that. Yeah, so these are the streets Bro and I used to go and cycle around, and well, just cycle really, because that's what we did in them days. We didn't stay on the internet and do stuff because there was none of that. Now, over in that house there was Mrs. Baird. She used to cut my hair. Yeah. So lovely lady she was. Yes. So as I was saying, Bro and I used to come and cycle around these parts. So we know these roads very well. Our school was just up there, and we only lived about 20 minutes away. No, not even that, maybe just 5 minutes probably, actually. 5 minute stroll it would have been for us to get to school. And we were actually very lucky because we lived right over the road, you'll see that later, from our secondary school. So we just had to get up, clean our teeth, and before we knew it, we were in double maths. Righty ho, we've turned into Fintry Place, which was owned by the Stewart family. The Stewart family? No, the Graham family, sorry. Too many families to remember. Let me just check. The Graham family. Yes, the Graham family of Fintry. They own this, so this is why this is called Fintry Place. Not to be confused with the Fintry area of Dundee. It's got nothing to do with that at all, so separate things altogether. So here we go, Fintry. Now this was just a walk up the road, and our school was just up the top there, so I'm not going to film the school for obvious reasons, even though it is a Saturday. Right, here we are, folks, in Seafield Road now. This is the main thoroughfare that runs from Camperdown right up to Balgillo, and this road gives its name to the whole area. There's lots of houses sort of named Seafield House and See This and Forth This. It's more sort of like a middle class area. There's some massive villas down this sort of side of the street, but the one I'm looking for is number, who is it now? Number 68. Well, that's number 50. Oh no, does it go up the way? Right, I have to go back up the way just for a minute, because there was a house up here that was owned by a Chilean tennis player in Broughty Ferry. Her name, I'm going to have to look at my notebook, folks, I'm useless at memory. Her name was Anita Mercedes Lizana, 1915 to 1994. She died just recently. She's not across the road here, madam, in your car. Don't run me over, please. There we go. Yeah, and she got to the quarter-finals of Wimbledon once, and then she went to win the US Open, so she also had a little spell which was pretty good. So let's see where this number, what did I say, it was 68, right. 68, there's 56, there's 58, hang on a second. Yeah, so this whole area, these old mansions, these are all owned by like chief executives of banks, jute merchants, your flax owners, all that kind of stuff again. All these industries that just aren't here anymore. Yeah, so here we come. This is number 68, just popping up here, right at the top of Seafield Road. There it is, number 68, owned by a US Open tennis winner, Anita Mercedes Lizana. Very nice. Right. So I don't want to be too, too nosy and poke into people's houses, but because you know they're like here, curtain twitcher city. Now I think our dentist, Mr. Ogilvy, used to live up one of these things and bro in a drunken stupor once when he was 14 or something, after drinking a lot of McEwen's Export and double diamond cider. He I can't remember why, but he went up to the door thinking it was somebody else's house, and he banged on the door and his dentist answered, so he just kind of stood there with his mouth agape. Yeah, typical bro behaviour. Now I can just see the top of our old house coming into view. Yes, getting a sense of nostalgia walking down here. I mean, I go past it quite a lot, but it's weird, isn't it? Right, this house here, this was, or probably is the most famous house in Seafield Road, apart from the house that we lived in. This is the Dundee United manager Jim McLean, or was Dundee United manager Jim McLean's house, because the hedge used to be quite low there, so we used to cycle past and shout abuse, and well, not abuse, but just shout things at him. So that's where he lived, 49 Seafield Road. It was very modern at the time. Remember that? It was like, whoa, look where he lives. But now I don't know where he's gone now. Portugal or something, probably.